Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron, I hope you're having a great day or night in Jesus. I want to talk to us a little bit about the concept of ideological capture. Ideological capture, and this goes back with Jesus' principle that a little leaven leavens the whole lump. A little leaven leavens the whole lump. So we're thankful you're here with us today. Do check out our other videos. But ideological capture is merely you have an organization that starts out, or a group, with a focus on some set of values, something that they want to accomplish. And over the course of time, the structures involved with that organization are captured ideologically, or with ideas or thoughts that are sometimes totally inimical to the initial aims of the organization. This is how you can get from John Wesley to certain parts of Methodism today. This is how you can get from the King James translators to certain parts of Anglicanism today. And you see this, J. Gresham Mackem wrote a great book on Christianity and liberalism, but there are studies on ideological capture. And what ends up happening is certain groups of people, mostly those on the left, are not great at building organizations, even though they did build communism and all this, but not great normally for various reasons. Satan comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Left, obviously, where you get right-left paradigm, besides even in the Pentateuch, is the right hand. The conservatives in the French National Assembly sat on the right hand, and then the Girondins and the radical Jacobins and others sat in left hand. The Girondins would be more in the middle, actually. Left hand, because they said if sheep are on the right hand, we want to be on the left hand. It was a very radical thing. This is where the phraseology right, left comes from history. And so, since Satan comes to steal, kill, and destroy, it doesn't necessarily build sometimes. And conservatives get the blessings of God. They're doing things according to the Bible. And so they build great structures. But over the course of time, inertia sets in. People want to conserve the structure rather than propagate the truth of the structure. And so inertia just, And so then at the same time, self-criticism, self-criticalness, and then others would question the motives of the structure and the purpose of the structure, and they would gradually come into forces of influence within that structure. And then they would begin to promote others of like mind. This happened in Great Britain with theory of evolution. You had T.H. Huxley. He set up the X Club that basically said when an evolutionist gets a position of power in the university, then his goal, anybody he can not only influence in the university, but if he's hiring a student assistant, it's got to be an evolutionist. If you get promoted to where you're hiring people, assistant professor or something, you only promote evolutionists. And so that's what's known as ideological capture. And so ideological capture actually has multiple forms and facets to it, because it's not just capturing of organizations, capturing of minds. And it basically uses critical theory to point out errors, real or supposed, in certain basic doctrines. And it usually uses a set of exceptions to say, oh, we've got a perfect Bible. No, you don't. How about strain at a gnat instead of strain out a gnat, or something along those lines, and say, well, and so once you say, okay, you see that is a mistranslation, then all of a sudden the entire Bible, all 31,102 verses, becomes open to mistranslation. And before you know it, while one generation believes in moderation, the next generation believes in excess, rule of history, then you don't even have a Bible, and everything is fair game. And this is the reason that you've got to be the pillar in the ground of the truth. And the Bible talks about being steadfast in the New Testament. And it talks about, quit you like men, don't move, having done all stand, because truth doesn't move. Progressivism, this is what the Hegelian dialectic is, truth, anti-truth, just move a little bit. Once it moves, it's over, because you're saying truth's not an absolute then. So ideological capture takes many forms. A lot of times it's young people. They don't know what the fence is there for. It's like that old, it's actually a some type of sociological theory. I forget, is it fence theory? Is that the name of it? I can't remember now. I was just reading about it not long ago. I think it's fence theory, that you're not able, this is a good rule of thumb, is you never move a fence till you know why it was erected in the first place. And once you discover why it was erected in the first place, fascinatingly enough, once that happens, then a certain percentage, and sometimes a large percentage, then choose not to move the fence because they understand. But you just don't arbitrarily move the fence. You have to know where it was moved from. So ideological capture can happen. We've seen it happen in Bible schools, seminaries, churches, organizations, denominations, missions, on and on, even government. Ideological capture happens. And so let's just believe God. We should be praying for those in leadership, 1 Timothy 2. So God bless you. Let's see truth flood over the earth. We'll talk with you later in Jesus' name. Bye-bye.